it's Chi-Town, it's Bears on the flight. Let me go tune in to KIEQ on the mic. He gon' make sure we get our news and highlights. When you get on YouTube, you better hit the likes.
Caleb Williams passed the biggest test of the offseason. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of KIEQ on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Bears fans, make sure you also do me a huge favor by also hitting the like button on today's episode of KIEQ on the Mic. So, Bears fans, the Chicago Bears knew one of the biggest tests of the summer was going to be their joint practice against the Cincinnati Bengals. When you look at a team like the Bengals, they have been a powerhouse for the AFC for the last couple of years. The only thing that really gets in their way for that Super Bowl title is Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, but they're a really respected organization in the National Football League. So head coach Matt Eberflus knew this was going to be a really good test for his players to get a different look against another NFL organization. And he also knew that this was going to be an awesome test for Caleb Williams as well, to get some different looks on what opposing defenses will show him on Sundays. And once again, all eyes were on quarterback Caleb Williams, and he definitely passed the test. He didn't flinch whatsoever, Bears fans, and he absolutely balled out. Despite the rainy condition, Bears fans, Caleb Williams put together, in my opinion, one of the best practices of the offseason. It didn't start out too well for the young quarterback. He did throw an interception during a 7-on-7 drill, but shredded the Bengals defense during the 11-on-11 period. He connected with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore for touchdowns and red zone drills. Then he followed up again by hitting Keenan Allen again for another score on a long bomb. It was an all-around really good day for quarterback Caleb Williams. There was also a really nice clip during the joint practice with the Cincinnati Bengals of him hitting Odunze as well. You love to see that connection continue to grow. But Bears fans, the thing I'm loving so much that Caleb Williams is developing at a very high rate, and the entirety of the Chicago Bears offense is progressing as well. They truly look unstoppable. What Caleb Williams showed during the joint practice against the Bengals gets you really excited as a Bears fan, because he's not only showing the command of this Bears offense, but it's truly, when you look on paper, it's like you have to pick your poison against the Chicago Bears offense. My question to you guys, or anyone that's not a fan of the Chicago Bears, how in the world are you going to stop this Chicago Bears offense? You can't really double team anyone, especially when you have Keenan Allen, Odunze, and DJ Moore. And that's not even including Cole Kmet and Gerald Everett and DeAndre Swift in the backfield. So it's not like you can just single-handedly double Keenan Allen or DJ Moore and expect to get away with it. And you truly can't even really blitz Caleb Williams, because for starters, the Chicago Bears defense blitzes the hell out of Caleb Williams in every single practice, and Matt Eberflus is doing that on purpose, so Caleb Williams is prepared for those situations. And if you do try to blitz a guy like Caleb Williams and you do not make it home and actually get the sack, Caleb Williams is smart enough and has a high enough football IQ to flip it out to a guy like DeAndre Swift, much like we saw in the game against the Buffalo Bills. He did that little shuffle pass to DeAndre Swift, and then DeAndre Swift took it 40 yards for a very huge gain for the Chicago Bears offense. And Bears fans, I'm not sure if it's just me, but ever since that Buffalo Bills game where the Chicago Bears starters and even the second and third stringers, they all looked really good, it seems like this Chicago Bears offense has really hit their stride, and I'm all for it as a Bears fan. Overall, they look more comfortable in the scheme. They are comfortable with each other and the responsibilities within the Shane Waldron offense. And when you put those two things together with the talent that you have on the roster with Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Odunze, among others, that is a dangerous recipe for the rest of the National Football League. But overall, Bears fans, it was a really good overall day by quarterback Caleb Williams. He continues to stack these good practices, and what I'm loving the most about Caleb Williams is that he can throw interceptions, and then he comes back and absolutely slices up the defense. Once again, Matt Eberflus did come out after practice and did say that the starters will play. I know Cole Kmet did come out and said, hey, it may be for a quarter. He did say, do not quote me on that, but we may get to see a quarter of play from Caleb Williams and most of the starters for the Chicago Bears offense. The only bad thing is that the starters for the Cincinnati Bengals will not be playing this Saturday at Soldier Field. They're dealing with some massive injuries to their roster, so I understand that. But overall, we did hear a lot of good things of what Caleb Williams was able to do against the starters in the joint practice against the Cincinnati Bengals. So that is totally fine. I think it's going to be important for Caleb Williams to get that debut at Soldier Field out of his system. I think it's going to be a really good thing for Caleb Williams to play on that Soldier Field grass and really just take it all in. Bears fans, what I really want to see from Caleb Williams in Saturday's game against the Cincinnati Bengals, even though the Bengals starters are not playing, I just want to see him continue to take command of the offense, make the smart reads, play efficient, clean football, make sure you're getting the ball out of your hand very fast, and just be you. At the end of the day, if Caleb Williams can continue to be that playmaker that we know he can be and just make those plays and make those simple plays, but also be himself, that's when Caleb Williams is at his best. But I am super excited to watch him play once again this Saturday against the Bengals. I know Bears fans are going to be really juiced to see him play in Soldier Field for the very first time. But Bears fans, I wanted to come on here really quick and just share my opinions from what I heard out of joint practice against the Cincinnati Bengals. Once again, it was another really good day, probably the best day for Caleb Williams so far in a Bears uniform. So Bears fans, before I let you guys go, I have a kind of a fun question to ask you guys. If you guys were an opposing defensive coordinators and you had to go against the Chicago Bears offense, what would be your game plan to actually either shut down or slow down the Chicago Bears offense? Let me know down below in the comment section. But as always, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of KIEQ on the Mic with every single Bears that you know. But other than that, be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on KIEQ on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't KIEQ on the mic.